Air pollution is a growing issue, especially in cities where industrial activity has increased over the years. There are a number of health issues that are associated with bad air quality, including asthma and heart and lung diseases. Common causes of poor air quality include industrial activities, goods and transportation, and everyday activities like driving, cooking, and using air conditioners. Natural events like wildfires or dust storms can also lead to poor air quality. There are a few different pollutants that contribute to poor air quality, which include ozone, which can trigger asthma and other respiratory issues, particulate matter, which consists of tiny particles that penetrate the lungs and can worsen heart and lung diseases, carbon monoxide, a gas that interferes with the body's ability to transfer oxygen, sulfur dioxide, which can cause respiratory problems and contribute to acid rain, and nitrogen dioxide, which can inflame airways and reduce lung function. Each of these pollutants affects air quality in different ways and is included in the Air Quality Index, which categorizes air quality into 6 levels, ranging from good to hazardous. Every 50-unit increase corresponds to a different air quality category, along with updated health recommendations. On days with poor air quality, it's important to inform people, especially those at higher risk, such as individuals with asthma or other respiratory conditions, to take precautions to reduce exposure to harmful air. News reports often recommend limiting time spent outdoors, reducing the intensity of outdoor activities, wearing masks, and keeping doors and windows closed to minimize exposure. But how can we predict air quality index? One way is through machine learning. More specifically, long short-term models, or LSTM models, are highly effective at predicting time-based sequences. In this project, you'll be gathering air quality data from a location of your choice and train an LSTM model to predict AQI 1 week, 4 weeks, and 1 year into the future. To access the full instructions and Google Colab notebook for this project, check out the project page linked in the description below. Now, let's get started. To download the project notebook, you need to scroll down under step 2 and download the notebook by clicking on this link. Then you want to open your Google Drive, which you can by opening this link over here. Then within your Google Drive, click on My Drive, create a new folder by clicking on this button, New Folder, and then we'll call this Air Quality Prediction. Make sure to have proper capitalization. Now, if you open the Downloads folder on your computer, you can simply select the Python notebook and drag and drop into your My Drive. And then to open the notebook, you can simply double-click. Now our notebook is ready to go, but we have no data yet. Back on the project page, we can find the link to where we'll download our data under step 1. So just click on that link. And then you'll be brought to the EPA website where we'll be downloading our data. From the drop-down menu of pollutant, make sure to select all AQI pollutants. For the year, we'll be selecting 5 years total, and I'll be choosing from 2023 and until 2018. So we'll start with 2023. And for the area, you can either select by a city or by a county. From here, you can essentially pick almost any city or county you want, but just be sure to know that some of these cities do not have all of their information. So for example, this city in Ohio doesn't have anything for ozone value or nitrogen dioxide or these other 2 columns. So if the city or county you chose has a lot of missing data, it's better to just choose a different city. So I decided to go with the city of Chico in California because it just has all of the data. And to download this, you can click on this link right here that says Download CSV. Then you want to navigate to Google Sheets and then open a blank spreadsheet. And we'll name this AQI Daily for 5 years. Then you want to upload the file that you downloaded earlier. And you can do that by going to File, Import, Upload, Browse, and then select the file that you downloaded earlier. Mine is called AQI Daily 2023. And open, and then choose Insert New Sheets, and then Import Data. Then you want to go back to this page and then choose the next year, and I'll choose 2022. The goal is to choose 5 years and just make sure they're in order. So if you're doing from 2018 to 2023, download everything in between and don't skip years like 2023 and then 2021 and then 2009. Just make sure they're in order, and then it will generate the report again. Click on Download CSV. Go back to your spreadsheet and again, File, Import, upload your downloaded file, and then Insert New Sheet. And then you just need to repeat this 3 more times for the 3 other years. Once you have imported all 5 years of data into your spreadsheet, create a new final one, and we'll rename it to final, but you can rename it anything you want, like all or everything. Now we'll be copy and pasting all of this data into one final spreadsheet. So you can copy all of the data by selecting everything like this and then scrolling all the way down like this, and then Control C, and then go over here, select the first column, and then Control V. And do that for the other years as well, but just remember to not copy the column names this time and start here. Select all of it, all the way to the bottom, and then Control C, and click the first column here, and Control V. When you are done inputting data for all 5 years, go to View, Freeze, and then one row to freeze the first row of your data. Then to sort the data by date, click on this column, right click, and then Sort Sheet A to Z. If you did not already copy and paste the sheets in order, this will just make sure everything is in chronological order. Now to export the data into something our code can use, go to File, Download, and then comma separated values. Open the file in your downloads and make sure to rename it to AQI Daily 5 years, and we just need to delete this final part here. Go back to your air quality prediction folder in your My Drive, and then open up your downloaded CSV file and simply drag and drop. Now we are finally ready to code. As a quick review, remember that we can run each code block by clicking on this play button, or selecting the code block and then holding Command Enter or Control Enter. You can see the output, if any, here, and check if the code block has been run by this check mark here. Now let's go through the sections one at a time. We'll start with importing libraries, which will allow us to use functions that other people have defined. Then we'll mount the Google Drive, which will allow us to use the CSV file that we uploaded earlier. Then we'll load the data into a Pandas DataFrame by running this code block here. And from here we can see that the data has been loaded properly, because this is what it looked like in the spreadsheet. Now we'll be pre-processing the data, and we'll start by running this code block. And in this code block, it essentially creates a new column with the same name, date, and it converts this date into a format that the computer understands, because the computer understands this as simply a string of characters, while it understands this as an actual date. And before we get started, let's check on how much the AQI has varied over the 5 years. And we can see that there's quite a bit of variation, and especially this huge peak in the latter half of 2020. Next, we'll be dropping the unnecessary columns, in which we'll be dropping the columns that do not really help us in our predictions, which would be site name, site ID, and the source, and so on. You can definitely type these, but I'll just be copying and pasting. And if you had any null values, this code block will replace them with the last known number. Then we'll be normalizing the other columns in this dataset except for what we are predicting, which is AQI. Next, this code block simply defines a helper function that our LSTM model will be using. And here, the window size refers to how many days in advance we'll want our model to predict. And by default, it's at 7. So our initial model will be predicting AQI 1 week in advance. Next, we'll be splitting our dataset into train, validation, and test. We'll link a video in the description explaining why we need to split our dataset like this. And we can run this next code block to see the size of each of our datasets. And we can see that the train data is about 60% of the entire dataset, validation and testing is about 20% each. Now we can go on to training the model, but first we have to create the model, which is automatically done by this first code block. And this next code block creates a checkpoint file, which we'll use to reload our model. And finally, we can train the model by running this code block. And don't worry if this takes a while. Once the model is done training, we can reload the model here. Then we can see some of the model's predictions by running this code block here. We can see on the left side is the Y test, which is the actual values that we want to get as close to as possible. And Y pred is what our model has predicted. And so we can see that our predictions are kind of close. And now we can predict the predicted values and the actual values on a graph. And for my model, we can see that the red line, which is the predicted value, is typically pretty close to the actual value, except for this outlier right here when the AQI was really high. The last 3 code blocks will print out the mean absolute error, the mean squared error, and the R-squared values. And for an explanation for what these values mean, check out the project page. When you're done training a model to predict AQI 1 week in advance, make sure to record the mean absolute error, the mean squared error, and the R-squared value into a table. And then we'll scroll all the way back up here to where we defined the window size in code block 4G. And now you want to train 2 more models, one predicting 1 month in advance, or 4 weeks, which will be 28 days, and then one year in advance, which would be 365 days. For a quick way to run everything again, remember that you can go to runtime and then run all. Record the mean absolute error, the mean squared error, and the R-squared value as before, and compare the 3 models. And with that, we reach the end of this coding tutorial. Remember that you can find written instructions as well as this notebook linked in the project page down below in the description. And for 1,000 other projects for all areas of science and engineering, visit our website www.sciencebuddies.org.